Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gushin Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. We begin our bulletin with the latest on terror attack in India. The death toll from the devastating Pahalgam terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir has risen to at least 26, while at least 40 other people sustained injuries. This after terrorists opened fire at the tourist and Bison meadow yesterday. A wide-scale manhunt is underway in the valley to nab the terrorists. The sketches of at least 3 terror suspects have also been released. According to reports, the Resistance Front or the TRF, which is a Lashkar-e-Taiba-backed group, has claimed responsibility for the terror attack. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired an urgent meeting at the airport earlier in the day. He met National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar among other officials. The meeting followed his return to Delhi after cutting short his 2-day Saudi Arabia visit. He met Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman before leaving for New Delhi. And Home Minister Amit Shah visited the terror attack site Bison Meadow in Pahalgam to take stock of the situation. He also condoled the devastated families of the victims in Srinagar and paid tributes to the attack victims. Meanwhile, citizens across various cities of Jammu and Kashmir have hit the streets to protest the deadly Pahalgam terror attack. The protesters condemned the attack and held placards reading, and I quote, "Stop innocent killings." Leaders across the globe have condemned the horrific terrorist attack. President Donald Trump said that the US stands with India against terrorism, while Russian President Vladimir Putin said that the perpetrators must be punished. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed grief over barbaric terror attack, alongside the EU chief Ursula von der Leyen, who also condemned the wild terrorist attack. Meanwhile, UAE Foreign Ministry expressed strong rejection for all forms of terrorism. Iran extended condolences to the Indian government and its people. Saudi Arabia offered support to India, and Nepal's KP Oli Sharma said country stood firmly with India and condemned terrorism. Meanwhile, in Jammu and Kashmir's Uri, 2 terrorists were killed. The Indian Army successfully foiled the bid today. The attempt to infiltrate the line of control or the LOC come just a day after a deadly Pahalgam terrorist attack. Now moving to the trade war, President Donald Trump has hinted at a potential trade deal with China. He said that he won't play hardball with the Asian country. He added that the US tariffs on Chinese imports would not be 145%. His remarks came amidst an intense US-China trade war. Now moving to the war in Europe, Russian forces have reportedly retaken a monastery in Kursk region. They released a video of a strike in Gornal village. According to Russian state media, this is a site where Ukrainian troops were held up. The Russian military said that Ukraine had deployed troops and weaponry at the historic site. In climate news, rumors swirled this Earth Day about potential executive orders targeting environmental groups' tax-exempt status. But the White House said there's no such plan in the works. Climate-focused organizations had braced for impact after a political law firm warned of possible crackdowns. A wildfire ripping through Ocean County, New Jersey, has already scorched 8,500 acres and forced 3,000 people to evacuate. The fast-moving blaze erupted Tuesday morning in the Greenwood Forest Wildlife Management Area, threatening more than 1,300 structures and shutting down part of the Garden State Parkway. So far, no injuries have been reported, but several businesses have been burnt, and over 26,000 customers have lost power. Tiny but ecologically important, Brazil's mole crabs are disappearing, and scientists are worried. Once a staple of Rio de Janeiro's sandy shores, these crustaceans have vanished according to marine biologists. Experts blame human activity, heavy foot traffic, beachfront development, vehicle use, and untreated sewage are all degrading their coastal habitats. Karachi, Pakistan's largest city, is in the grip of an intense heat wave, with temperatures soaring above 41 degrees Celsius. The National Meteorological Department has issued public health warnings, especially for vulnerable groups like children and the elderly and outdoor workers. Residents are being urged to stay hydrated and avoid direct sunlight during peak hours. The planet is witnessing the worst coral bleaching event on record, with over 80% of world's reefs across at least 82 countries. They were suffering heat-induced damage since January 2023. Scientists warn that coral ecosystems, often called the rainforests of the sea, have entered uncharted territory as the soaring ocean temperatures scorch reefs across the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Oceans. On to business and tech news now. Stock markets in Asia see a relief rally as President Trump says he has no intention of firing Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell and hints at lower tariffs for China. Major indices in Tokyo, Hong Kong and Sydney rise over 1%, while dollar strengthens and oil prices recover amid improved investor sentiment. Coalition of US auto industry groups urges President Trump to halt plans for a 25% tariff on imported auto parts, warning of higher vehicle prices and lower sales. The letter sent to top administration officials highlights potential supply chain disruptions and increased risk of layoffs and bankruptcies among suppliers. In quarterly earnings report, Tesla's profit dropped 71% for the first time 3 months of this year on weaker sales and anti-Elon Musk sentiment. This as Tesla warns investors that US tariffs and potential uncertainty may impact future demand. Meanwhile, CEO Elon Musk says he will reduce time on government work and spend more time running his many companies. Boeing agrees to sell parts of its digital aviation solutions businesses, including the Jeppesen Navigation Unit, to private equity firm Thoma Bravo for over $10 billion. The deal is part of CEO Kelly Ortberg's strategy to reduce debt by divesting non-core assets while retaining key digital capabilities in maintenance and diagnostics. Brandon Lutnick, son of U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, reportedly partners with SoftBank, Tether and Bitfinex to create a multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin acquisition vehicle. The venture, called 21 Capital, will be funded with $3 billion in Bitcoin, contributed by the 3 crypto investors. Intel is reportedly planning to cut over 20% of its staff this week. It's a major restructuring under new CEO Lip Buten. The move aims to streamline management and revive the company's engineering culture amid years of declining sales. Meta's oversight board sharply rebukes the company for January policy changes, which cut fact-checking and loosened restrictions on content about immigration and gender identity. The board warns the changes were announced hastily and without clear human rights due diligence. Meta says it will respond to the board's recommendations within 60 days. Moving to US antitrust case against Google. OpenAI executive testifies that the ChatGPT maker would be interested in buying Google's Chrome if antitrust enforcers force the sale. The testimony comes during Google's antitrust trial, where the US Department of Justice seeks to restore competition in online search. Meanwhile, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman steps down as chairman of nuclear tech startup Oklo. This is Oklo exposed as strategic partnerships with leading AI companies, including potentially with OpenAI. Oklo CEO Jacob DeWitt will take over the role of chairman of the company, which aims to develop its first small modular nuclear reactor by 2027. And Florida sues owner of photo-sharing app Snapchat, accusing the company of using addictive features that violate a 2024 state law aimed at protecting children from social media harm. The lawsuit claims Snapchat continues to allow users under 13 and fails to enforce parental consent for younger teens. Snapchat says Florida's law infringes the First Amendment constitutional rights of adults and children. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. Delhi beat Lucknow by 8 wickets in the ongoing Indian Premier League. After taking to field in Lucknow, Delhi restricted hosts at 159 runs, powered by Mukesh Kumar's 4-wicket haul. The visitors chased down the total with 13 balls remaining. KL Rahul remained not out for 57 runs of 42 balls. Former England star Andrew Flintoff revealed the extent of mental health struggles he's been enduring. This comes after Flintoff sustained several facial injuries in a car crash on the set of a television program in 2022. Flintoff said that he still gets flashback of the accident. He's gradually come to terms with it. In football, Manchester City beat Aston Villa 2-1 in the Premier League. This came as Matheus Nunes secured a dramatic 94th minute winner to break through the 1-1 scoreline. The match was opened by Bernardo Silva's 7th minute goal, followed by an equaliser from Marcus Rashford. The victory lifted City to the third place in the points table, boosting their hopes for a Champions League qualification. Barcelona crushed Mallorca in 1-0 in La Liga while dominating the game with 78% possession and 744 passes. Barca sailed to victory with Dani Olmo's lone 46-minute goal. With this win, Barcelona cemented their top of the table position in La Liga points tally. In tennis, four-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka crashed out of the Madrid Open. The former women's world number one lost in the first round of the tournament. The Japanese lost 4-6, 6-2, 4-6 against Italy's Lucia Bronzetti. Spanish tennis legend Rafael Nadal said he is happily retired and does not miss the sport of tennis at all. The 22-time Grand Slam winner made the claim at an award ceremony in Madrid. The 38-year-old said, and I quote, "I don't miss tennis because I finished with the peace of my mind knowing that I had given it my all," end quote. Men's world number one Jannik Sinner equaled Rafael Nadal's record as he started his 46th successive week on the top of the ATP rankings. This is the same feat Nadal achieved when he became the world number one for the first time. Sinner is closing in on a return to competitive tennis next month, having been banned from a doping offence for 3 months after the Australian Open. Serbian tennis legend Novak Djokovic said that criticism directed towards his younger rival Carlos Alcaraz is entirely unfair. Ahead of the Madrid Masters, Djokovic said that while Spanish people have huge expectations from Alcaraz, what the Spaniard had achieved so far is incredible. The 24-time Grand Slam winner said, and I quote, "He is 21 years old and has won 4 Grand Slams and many tournaments. What more do you want?" End quote. In shooting, India ended its World Cup campaign in Peru with 3rd-place finish in the medals tally. The Indian contingent, led by star shooters such as Manu Bhaker, Saurabh Chaudhary, Suruchi Singh and Simranpreet Kaur Brar, won 15 medals. The Indian medal haul included 2 gold, 4 silver and 1 bronze medal. Red Bull has formally ruled out launching a right of review petition against Max Verstappen's decisive 5-second time penalty in Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Verstappen was penalized for leaving the track and gaining an advantage at the start of the race, going off after a duel with McLaren's Oscar Piastri. And finally, in entertainment news, reality TV royalty is expanding their empire again. Disney reality chief Rob Mills unveils Calabasas Behind the Gaze. It's a brand new series featuring the extended Kardashian circle. The show promises a deeper peek into the lives of those orbiting around Kim and Khloe and the rest of the Calabasas crew. The spin-off comes on hot of the heels 6th season of The Kardashians, which ended with Kim coyly hinting at a potential new romance. Concert goers in Seoul got more than they bargained for when Blackpink's Rose made a surprise appearance at Coldplay's show. Wearing a glitzy silver jacket and all her star power, Rose hit catwalk to performance her hit single APT. The crowd lit up as the K-pop star took the first verse, only for Chris Martin to jump in and take on Bruno Mars's usual part. Bella Ramsey is done hiding and done with headlines. In an interview, the actor reflected on the decision to come out as non-binary. While Ramsey admits they initially feared it would overshadow their work, they did not recognize how powerful it has been for fans seeking representation. Now the actor is focused on living authentically. The passing of Pope Francis has sent viewers flocking to a film Conclave. It is a dramatic tale about the selection of a new pope. On April 21, the day of Pontiff died at the age of 88. The movie racked up nearly 7 million views, minutes watched, a whopping 283% increase from the day before. And finally, the Academy has announced that Oscar voters will now be required to confirm they have seen all nominated films in a category before casting a final ballot. The Academy insists this new move is meant to ensure more responsible and informed voting, but critics are asking how it will be enforced. The new rule will take effect for the 98th Oscars in 2026. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Garland and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to First Post.